we'll just do, while people are still getting a few more cups of coffee and so forth, we thought we might just kick off with the cake ceremony. And we've asked Richie, a state member, and Mum, who's I know, who's the plus one? You're the plus one?
I'm the plus one.
You're the plus one.
1.5.
We might do just the cutting of the cake and then all the photo opportunities. So everyone want to come up? I'm out of the way. So if you want to get in position to cut the cake, we'll hand it over to Richie and Mum.
There we go.
Thank you, Richie. While we're still getting cups of coffee and so forth, and get yourself settled, we'll just start the couple of speeches and so forth in about 5 minutes. Thank you. Also, a bit of a competition. There's a couple of photos floating around up here, and there's one here in the blue. If you can find where's Bessie in that photo. See if you can spot. Mum, don't you tell them where you are. You don't know. Oh.
I know. My Venus is off the block. When they tell you to log on, you know what they mean now.
Good morning, everyone. We might get started on the speeches and just saying a few words. So if you could find your seats and get comfy or get a little bit close, we will get started. I guess first of all we should welcome my mother. We welcome Mum. Round of applause for Mum. While we're talking about my mother and my sister, Lynn, I will get hand instructions, and if I'm looking over there and if I suddenly turn away, I know that she's got signals and everything else. So please, could you support me in my dealings with my mother in this over the next 10 or 15 minutes? Is that okay? Thumbs up. So, oh, I got a thumbs up. So, a bit of an update on what Mum's been through over the last 5 weeks, not 5 years. She's had 3 trips via ambulance to Coffs Harbour Hospital. Doesn't remember a lot about those. She suffered 2 strokes, one to the occipital lobe and one to up here, is that right, Lynn? Up here on the top side. 3 weeks ago was the last stroke, and on that day Mum couldn't talk, she had no grip, couldn't eat and couldn't walk. So we are pretty chuffed and amazed to see you walking, talking, and yes, Mum, you're going to say something? and eating. She's back on solid foods and all that, so we are just really, really chuffed. So the story of why here, why did we pick the Glenray store? There's a nice little story, and it comes in Mum's, last time I stood and launched a book. Where's Dr. Kramer? Oh, there he is up there. We were just talking about this. Mum wrote this book and printed 1,000 copies, Glenray, A Town of Promise. And we think it was about 25, 26 years ago. And we launched it down at Mum and Dad's place, just down here on 1 James Street. And I stood up and was the MC. But in this, there is a nice little story. And she wrote about all the buildings and so forth, and in this particular chapter it was around this store. And for people who don't know, I think it's 1912, I got the nod, I got that right. 1912, this building was built, and she talks about Harold Hutley, who took over it in about the late 20s, 1920s, mid 1920s, very good. And she talks, and it's just a little paragraph in here, and I'll just read it out. It said, Harold Hutley maintained the family store through the Depression years, and it is known that his generous nature assisted in sustaining many families in the district during this demanding period. In recalling first-hand knowledge of one such monetary account being settled a few years later, I remember it was done with thanks and a handshake. Now I can share a little bit more about that particular occasion. Mum was, we think, about 17, 18, and it was her father, and they were living up TALLAWUDJAH Creek, and they'd moved into Southgate. Have I got that right? Yes. And they came back out, and he had a move sold. There was a wedding, and he had a lot of purchases. And he came out, and he knew he had to settle the account. He didn't quite know what the amount of money was, but he just knew. And he came out, and I think I asked Mum what. Is it back on? Yes. I asked Mum her recollection, because she was there with her father, and her father said to Harold, "Why didn't you send me a bill, Harold?" And it was over £400 back in that day. And Harold said, "I didn't bother, Tom, because I knew you would come and settle your account." And then they had a firm handshake. And I just think that's an amazing story for this locality, and it's amazing the store is still going. And I should have probably got Terry out to hear that story, and I just realised, there he is. And so we congratulate you, Terry, on taking over the general store. So, and that's why Mum picked here. She wants that, not that you're going to give extended credit. But I thought I'd hand over to Richie to say, I don't know what you do with a book launch. Do you throw it? Do you So for those people who don't know, this is your local state member for Clarence. And if you, I noticed a few other people in the crowd here that you might want to acknowledge. So I'll hand over to you.
Thanks, Pete. Look, thanks very much, Pete, and Lynn, of course. The first person I would like to acknowledge is your beautiful mum. Bessie, you can draw a crowd. And of course, Bessie, it's great to see you, always great to see you. I first met Bessie well before your 90th birthday, and we've seen a couple of birthdays since. And I'm sure, Bessie, you won't be cranky at me if I pre-wish you a happy 102nd birthday in a couple of months. Weeks, actually. It's in May, isn't it? Mid-May. So, happy birthday for mid-May. It's a bit of a pre-happy birthday. I think Bessie is a living legend, historian, and a credited author. And we love you, Bessie. We love you. Congratulations on your new book. Could I also acknowledge Karen Toms, who is a councillor on Clarence Valley Council. Karen's here today, so it's good to see you again. I don't think there's any other councillors here. I don't want to get offside with them. I haven't missed anyone, have I? So it's good to see Karen. But Bessie, in saying a few words today, I am in awe of you and have been for a long time. This is not Bessie's first book, of course. There is a full list of Bessie's books in the back of this book. And not long before I left the radio station, Bessie came waltzing up the stairs, and the lady at the front said, "There's a Bessie Webb here." I said, "Oh, right, okay." And Bessie gave me a copy of the Crows. What was it? That Crows Can't Count. and also gave me I reckon it was a 1950 2GF radio badge. And Bessie, that takes pride of place in my office now. So thank you very much for that. But can I just again congratulate Bessie on this remarkable record of not only this local area in Glenray, but more widely, of course, over the books, her life, which has been remarkable. And in launching the book today, Bessie, we're all here with you to celebrate you this remarkable milestone. I know the book has been published locally as well at Caramba. So it's a real local effort. We would expect nothing else from a local hero, of course. And I would also like to acknowledge, and I should use the full title, Bessie Webb OAM. So in being a part of, something that I know you and your family and all of us are very, very proud of, Bessie. So congratulations, enjoy your day, and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart inviting me to be a part of it. When Pete's email came through to the office, he had me at hello. You know, of course I will be here. I would not miss it. So congratulations. We love you. We are very proud of you. All the very best with the book.
So I guess the book is launched.
I think that's how you launch a book.
So thank you, Richie, for those kind words. And she's still not... Look, you want the microphone yet? No. Oh, okay. I got the figure. So just a few thanks. Richie made reference to Mike, who's over the back there, is our publisher. Honey introduced us to Mike. We were chatting about it last night, Mike. So Mike's business is Nenge Books from Caramba. He's published over 70 books, has a passion for this. The journey you took us on was just astonishing. Your compassion, your gentleness with our mum, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So just on that, if there's a burning authors anywhere around here, you've got a story, Mum would want you to be encouraged to write your story down, and if you want to do just how to do it, was all printed in Australia, in Melbourne, so it's all done local. So how good a story is this? So Mike, really want to thank you for that. Terry, would you like to come across? Mum has wants you to take a book. She's autographed it for you, and she's so happy that you guys are in here. She's so happy to see that this is becoming vibrant, and it's a cornerstone of our community. It has to be. It has to survive. It has to be there, and we all power to you for what you do. So thank you.
Thank you.
Noel, again, you're always turning up for our special events in Glenray, and there's a lovely history talking about capturing stories. That's what you're doing today. You can go back onto Glenray Gold, I think it is, to pick up all of those. Just so I guess there'll be a video superbly produced in a few days' time or a week's time. So thank you again, Noel, for all what you do, and Lions as well, Mike, and helping out with the chairs and so forth. It's all good community stuff. All the cooks, so hopefully help me out on all the cooks. So Dina, Doc, Kathy, Jane, maybe any others. Mum cooked. Mum cooked yesterday, so well done for that. Is Kim Smith here? I'm not sure. Yeah, there you are. She had a lovely job and did an amazing job of proofreading the book. So thank you for doing all of that. It was really good for us. And I asked Mum, Did she have a quote or anything to? So, just in closing and thanking everyone, it's an amazing crowd that's turned up. I said, is there a little quote or something you want to leave everyone today about you know, the last few weeks and so forth? So I wrote down, this is what Mum said last night. She is doing okay and the tongue is wagging well. That's the title of the next book. Thank you, everyone.